All right. So before the Avalanche hit the road for the East Coast, they call up Trent Miner. Is that any cause for concern for Scott Wedgewood? Let's talk about that in a new episode of Locked On Avalanche coming at you.
You're Locked On Avalanche, your daily podcast on the Colorado Avalanche. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Locked On Avalanche, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chris Micieli. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Zach Pearson. Thank you for tuning in, making this your first listen of the day, and for making the Locked On Podcast Network the #1 podcast network in the country. Always appreciated for all of that. And if you want to get in on our conversation, then join our subtext. Link is in the show notes below. You chat with us one-on-one. We get your opinion, everything Avalanche related. Share it on this very podcast. And for today, our rundown for today, in the third segment, this ongoing issue with the Olympics is just fascinating to me. Fascinating. And there is another page, another chapter in the soap opera that is the Olympic ice issue. It's amazing.
Crazy.
And we don't have an answer yet. We don't. It's still up in the air. So we'll talk about it, what the latest is. We'll look at the Central Division. We haven't done that really since the beginning of the season. Where does the Central stand? And specifically that injury to Tyler Seguin on Dallas Stars. That is huge. Discuss that.
Yeah.
But where we're going to start is Avalanche related, obviously. And they hit the road for a 4-game road trip over on the East Coast. And again, if anybody's going to the MSG game, let me know. We can meet up. But before they hit the road, they called up Trent Miner. And we all know that, Scott Wedgewood was removed from the game the other day. And they said after the game, it was just some tightness in his back. At the time, Bednar said no cause for concern. I'm not trying to catastrophize this and say oh no, what does it mean now? But it was a little bit, I don't want to say alarming, but okay, that made me raise an eyebrow of they called up Trent Miner. On one end, it makes sense just to have some insurance. On the other end, we're sports media, so we have to go to the worst case scenario. And I feel like that's what we're going to do right now. Would you take anything from this, or it's just precaution?
I am going to continue being my eternal optimist self, and I'm going to say it's just a precaution. If the flu's been going around, if his back tightened up, I mean, I can tell you, not from, in my prime athletic days, which, are very, very recently behind me. But, when I would get really sore and I had the flu on top of it, it just amplified everything. And I know that that's something that can potentially happen. They say there's a bug going around. His back tightens up.
There is.
I
can vouch for that. Yeah. Yeah.
I am really hoping that this is literally just hey, this is the type of situation that's a perfect storm to linger for a week. And so we just need Trent to be up here in case this lingers and he doesn't get back during this road trip. That's my optimistic impression, is he is not an e-bug, but basically your e-bug for the weekend.
Mm-hmm. Because, I'm not a doctor, no medical professional, but isn't that a thing? If there is a flu going around, you can get back problems from it.
Maybe. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. When I get the flu sometimes, man, it'll make me sore everywhere.
Yeah. I feel like I've heard that before. It makes your body ache, particularly your back.
We have a lot of listeners, so all of you doctor listeners, get in the comments and let us know.
I should have asked Madam Battleaxe. She's in the medical field, so I'm sure she is typing away, pounding the keyboard as we're talking about this. So I look forward to her answer to that. But I kind of, if it's not related to just the sickness that was going around, that some people got, but nobody was really out for it. McKinnon had it, Landeskog had it. I think Parker Kelly was another guy that had it. They all played, but
with McKinnon, that he looked internally at the bug in himself and it got scared and left his body.
Get out.
Let's be completely honest.
That's all he had.
In fact, that's probably how it ended up with Scott Wedgewood.
It jumped from
terrified
McKinnon
and jumped to the nearest body, and Scott Wedgewood was just right there.
Why couldn't it go down the hall and around the corner into the opposing locker room?
jump
Why did
on
it have
to, yeah.
Is it
I don't
like
know.
is like maybe that movie Fallen with Denzel Washington, where it's that like it can only take one breath out of the body and before it has to find another host. So it
Yeah.
needed to stay close. I got it. Okay, that makes sense. But if it's not that, I know I love how we're playing like ER doctors here. If
Yeah.
it's not that, and it's what if it is a back issue, tight like that's I feel like back problems are like they don't just go away.
Yeah.
And something that can always like just peek its head up again if you just twist it and just and like we were saying yesterday, how goalies are just always like pliable just all over the place. Um if it's just due to cold, okay. If it's something bigger than that, are we going to be dealing with this for longer? I don't have the answer to that right now. We have to just wait and see. And like
Yeah.
I said in yesterday's episode, I think the schedule right now, the way that it's laid out for this road trip, we might have an answer by Sunday because you'd have to think, all right, if he got pulled out of the game, they called up Miner. Blackwood is good for the Islanders. Blackwood is good for the Rangers, and then
Yeah.
they play the Flyers, I think, on Sunday. So that's your back to back. Who plays that game, that second game of the back to back, will kind of give you an idea of okay, this is obviously lingering, or he's good to go. And then you have to
Yeah.
watch him play. Because if he
Right.
plays, then it twists it again, and they pull him out again. Like here we go with this whole "why can't we have nice things" mentality. So
Yeah.
it's just something to watch right now, and it's just odd that he, got pulled because it's not odd that he got pulled because of it. Just if that was hurting him before the game started, clearly they wouldn't have started him. So it
Yeah.
was something that happened during the game. You'd have to kind of surmise from that, but we'll see where it goes. It's kind of interesting.
Well, and on that flu note, like I said, I feel like that can hit you just like that muscle soreness, that body ache, I feel like
Mhm.
can hit you just randomly throughout the day whenever you've got a flu or something that you're battling. So I really do. I am working under the assumption, optimist brain here, that it is
Yeah,
very much a precaution. He's probably fine. They just want to be extra sure that
sure.
they're not going to be down a guy come
That's totally
one of these
understandable.
games.
Totally
So
understandable why you're doing it. Yep.
that's my thought. That's what I'm going to work under. Did I have a little bit of kind of that panic hit the middle of the chest as soon as I saw the Avs post out we've recalled Trent Miner?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Right.
But Bednar was on the altitude radio again in the morning saying, we don't expect it to be much of anything. We think he'll be good. Blackwood's going to get the next start. We've got two great goaltenders that we can rely on. Everything's great. So
Status quo. Yep.
I'm feeling good. I'm still
Okay.
feeling good.
All right. I'm with you. Also brought up Gavin Brindley, who will make the trip.
Yep.
That's not to say he will play, but that's a good sign. Like when you have, especially a 4-game road trip. So this isn't just like, oh, you're gone for a game or two and then back. You would understand if you don't make that one, but if you're to be away for as long as they are, and he's going with you, okay, maybe we see him by the end of this, which would obviously be very good. Then you just got Down the Shoeskin back, obviously, and now
Yep.
Gavin Brindley comes back. So obviously you're just waiting on Logan O'Connor, and is there
And
anybody
Wedgewood.
else? And well, yeah, Wedgewood, but yeah, that's really it. So LOC would be the last remaining holdout here.
Yep.
But I guess that's good news.
Yeah.
Good news
And
here about Brindley.
Bedsy alluded to it today, or, if you're listening to this on yesterday on the radio, he alluded to the fact that Brindley could play on this road trip. He's skating with the team in non-contact jerseys right now, but he expects him to step that up. He says he's really close and has the opportunity to make a return to the lineup as soon as this road trip. So, I mean, that definitely bodes well for the Avalanche too. I mean, goodness, like you're going to
Yeah.
get this depth back. Then we're finally getting to that point we've been talking about all season of, well, who do you start sending down and who loses their roster spot because guys are getting healthy? And we're approaching that
Close.
spot. And man, that's exciting.
They're just waiting on the LOC one, obviously, and I'm not going through lines and stuff like that. I don't want to do that right now, but something that we have not seen, which kind of gets you a little bit excited to see it. If they were to be together on the line, is the two of them.
Yeah.
Would Logan O'Connor and Gavin Brindley be on the line together? That would be fun.
That would be, I don't know, if you're an opposing team, especially an opposing team's third or fourth line, how do you do anything against that?
I mean, if it's, I would, and Bartikoff's been playing well. So maybe he's the odd guy out in this. I don't know. But if your line is Logan O'Connor, Gavin Brindley, and Parker Kelly, nobody is outworking that line. No. Nobody. That would be an exciting line to watch.
Oh my gosh. That would be so much energy. Like,
all right,
literally balls of energy
tuned.
Just on the ice.
Stay tuned.
What is that? Ball lightning? See. That's what that would be. Yep.
Kamehameha.
Oh man, that's some exciting fun right there. Yep.
All right, we shall see. So let's get a break in here, and on the other side of it, we're going to be talking about this Tyler Seguin injury for the Dallas Stars, the impact of that, and then just kind of like go down the Central Division, see where everybody stands, because they are all below us still, which is just fun to say. I'm going to brag about that. Why not? All right, we'll do that right after this. We're going to hear from FanDuel and NFL Sundays. They move fast in one big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. And with FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum shift or swing, and every highlight moment. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift, a receiver gets hot, a defense tightens up, or the momentum flips after a turnover. And FanDuel lets you jump into each moment, just like those Denver Broncos have been doing all season long. What do we got?
Speaking of everybody in your division being below you, the Denver Broncos play the Las Vegas Raiders this week, and they are 7.5-point favorites on FanDuel right now. And Vegas is, they have a lot of work to do. So, Broncos should win this game.
Well, the Broncos are, I've been told, the worst 10-2 team in NFL history. So
I can't wait for them to be the worst 11-2 team.
I mean, you're not really saying anything good about your league if you're saying a team that's 10-2 is, bad. Winning against terrible. Yeah. Where you want to tout parity? I guess you're not if you're saying the Broncos are the worst 10-2 team ever, but whatever. And if you want to be right in the middle of the action of the season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL bets all season long with FanDuel. The game moves fast, and so can you with FanDuel. Big injury news out of Dallas. They were playing the Rangers the other day. Tyler Seguin his leg gets falled on. Left the game. It wasn't intense. I can't remember who it was. He just lost his footing, and they kind of hit each other into the boards, and they just came awkwardly down on his leg, and didn't return. Obviously, now you hear that he has torn everything in his knee. The last I heard, I don't think they officially said he's out for the season. I don't think they're gonna they will make that announcement soon, but everything sounds like that could be the case.
Yeah.
This is obviously a huge blow for Dallas. I don't think it hurts their playoff chance, nothing like that, but it might impact their standing.
Yeah.
Long term, because we got a long way to go. Obviously, this didn't happen with a month left in the season, right? You got so many games left to go. How much it could impact them in terms of seeding, I think that's the talking point. They're too strong of a team to fall out of a playoff spot, but they can make moves. I mean, that's what they have to decide is, what do we do with him? Do they put him on LTIR? And the LTIR rules are different now. So there's two different forms of LTIR. If they can put him on your regular LTIR, and that's the in-season LTIR, and you no longer free up their full salary, which for Seguin I think is 9.5,
which is pretty big.
Yeah, like you don't free that up if you're not putting him on the season-ending LTIR. If you're just putting him on like LTIR with the expectation that he's going to return, you free up the league average salary of last year, which is like 3.8 million. That's what they would free up. If they put him on season-ending, which is not just the season, but the playoffs too. So he cannot come back. If you put him on that, you are done for the year. Then that frees up his full 9.5 for this year. So that's the decision that they have to make. If they feel like he could come back for the playoffs, you don't put him on that season-ending LTIR. And that's why I say, like, you know, they're going to make a move here. They're going to have to do something and bring in somebody to replace him. That's why I feel like, you know, you're not going to be out of a playoff spot because you'll bring somebody in, to help with that. But big loss for Dallas.
If everything kind of moves the way that it is and how things are projected to keep going, this does open the window for Minnesota to take that number 2 spot away from Dallas. And I mean, the 2 wildcard teams are not really that close. I mean, they're in there, but they're not that close.
Who's your wild card right now?
You got San Jose at 29 points and Seattle at 28 points, but only 24 games played, where everybody else in the Central, well, actually not the Avs, most of the Central is at 27.
Right. 26 or 27.
Yep. Chicago's got 28 points right on the tail end of a wild card spot. Utah's 27, Edmonton's 27, Winnipeg's 26. So, like, there's definitely some room to make something happen there, but I don't really see, like you said, it is a blow, and I think this really does a lot to damage Dallas keeping the number 2 or pushing the Avs for the number 1. I think it hurts them in that piece. Right. I don't think it hurts them in the playoff race.
No, definitely not. Like they have really, really good players, obviously. So, but he's one of them. Yeah. I think I had a couple. Vargar was one of them. Vargar was like, "Oh, here we go, Kadri to Dallas."
Ooh,
the thing with that is Kadri has a lot of contract left.
Yeah.
So you're taking that entire contract, which is $7 million, something like 7. Yeah, I don't think it's 7.5. I think it's $7 million. And then Seguin will come back, you know, and I think Seguin only has 1 more year left on his deal. But so like, and you have to pay Robertson. Yeah. So I don't think that would really make much sense to bring in Kadri and his dollar amount for however many years he has left on that contract, which is a handful.
He'll have 3 after this season, it looks like.
I don't see how you make that work. I just don't, especially after
unless Calgary's going to retain, and I don't see why they would.
Right.
Unless you're going to give them, like, I don't know. I don't know Dallas's pipeline that well. So unless you're going to give them something amazing, I don't see them retaining. But I mean, so Vargar, you're putting pessimism in my head, man. I don't like that. I don't think I could handle Mikko and Kadri on the Stars. It would. Oh man. Yeah. And like Kadri's one of my wife's favorite players. Just absolute favorite players. It would to have my wife and my daughter's favorite player both go to the Stars and have to watch both of those guys in that gross green would just be terrible.
Can you imagine?
No.
Can you imagine that?
I don't want it.
Money-wise, I just don't see how it works. But it's floating out there. And if it's floating out there, it's like me talking about Sidney Crosby.
Yep.
It's just not going to end until a move is made.
Locked on Dallas is going to start ending their episodes with
no. I have copyrighted that. They cannot use
it. Good. I am glad. Woof.
For the rest of the Central, it's a a very solid division. Obviously, what Minnesota is doing, you had Jesper Wallstedt with another shutout. This one was a 1-0 shutout the other day. So he can
too.
Yeah. So he continues to play great. Oddly enough, only 3 teams are actually. I was going to say, well, as of this recording, 3 teams are on a winning streak. in
Yeah.
the Central. The Predators have 1 in a row. All right. The Wild have 1 in a row, and the Avalanche have 2 in a row. And really, that's across the league. The only team, the best winning streak across the league right now, believe it or not, is the Capitals. They've turned things around, and they're on a 5-game winning streak. Everybody else, nobody's above 2 in the league for a winning streak. Crazy.
I hadn't noticed that. That is nuts.
Yeah. So, but for Minnesota, they're playing very well. The Blackhawks continue to just hang around. They're right there. Utah has fallen off a little bit. That's can they turn it back around is the question, because they started the season hot. We were doing the power rankings. They were the sexy pick for the power rankings. I think they were at number 2 at one point, right early in the season, and people were so in a rush to bump them up, and kind of look what's happened. They kind of settled back down, but they're a good team. Can they turn it back around is the question. And for a team that has never done that before, this is all kind of new to them. Well, I should want to say never before in a very long time.
Yeah.
Can they play that game of in-season roller coaster and turn it back around to the positive side for them? That remains to be seen. We'll see that. Winnipeg, losing Hellebuck for a while obviously is going to hurt you for however long he's out for. And then you have St. Louis and the Predators. And I think the only reason to watch the Predators is just to see what moves they make, because moves are coming.
Yeah.
They have to make moves.
They have to. It has to be a restart, right? Like a full-blown restart.
Yep.
I think that's got to be Nashville's plan.
You were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say something after.
So a real quick thing is, and my brain can't quite function on like Nashville being the win streak, but
well,
also
it's a 1-game win streak. It's nothing.
Still, you know what? For Nashville, big deal. Connor Bedard with the Blackhawks. I know they just lost in that shootout to Vegas, but my goodness, his goal in that game, I believe, to tie it, and his shootout goal.
Yeah,
holy cow. Chicago needs to figure out how to turn it around just for his sake. Like, that kid is going to be so good for so long.
Oh, yeah.
And I like, they're about to be these are going to be fun games between the Avs and the Blackhawks again. Like, those are games that I remember definitely enjoying all the time. When both teams are doing well, I always think those are super fun games. I can't wait to see Chicago get it a little more figured out around this kid, because it's going to be so much fun watching those games.
And if he can keep them afloat, like just out of the basement for the season, okay, then going forward, that's appealing to free agents.
Yep.
To be like, hey, you only need like 1 or 2 or 3 more pieces, little things here and there. Plug me in. Me in. I can help this team out, get over that hump. And obviously he's the focal point. But yeah, if you can just keep them out of, Nashville territory, then they'll be okay going forward. So,
well, and he's still on a team-friendly contract for sure right now, because he's still second year. Yeah, I mean, I know he's going to cost a lot, but that's exactly how you get more guys in. Is you're like, we have a little bit of money right now, pull some of you guys in. Yep. I mean, that's the type of situation where you rebuild a team, and so Chicago is going to be a little bit of an issue. The other thing I was going to say too is Logan Cooley. Did he manage to play in that game? Right, he's not injured, because that would be a blow for Utah.
I don't believe he is. Yeah.
Okay.
He's okay. Yep.
Because I know they were questioning on that, and Utah already struggling. If you lose Logan Cooley, you're really in a rough spot.
Yeah. You could probably put Dallas in the win column as we're recording this. They're up 3-0 right now against New Jersey. More than halfway through it's through the third. I thought it was through the second. Yeah. 3-0 with 6.5 minutes left. So you can add Dallas to the team who has a win in the Central. So.
Nah. I think
come on, Dallas. Come on. Give me a good 6 minutes here. New Jersey. Come on. So yeah.
Man, that puts them still, though, just to talk about how good the Avs are before we move on to this Olympic ice issue. That still puts the Avs 3 points ahead of Dallas in the standings with 2 games in hand. After this game.
Yep.
Holy cow. They
You know,
are
if you take let's see, like just like half of those overtime losses, and you know, you turn them into wins.
yeah.
That's 3 more points. You're at 47 points
I
already. If you
know.
were to, I mean, 44 is fine. I am not
44 is
complaining.
great. Yeah.
But you know, just imagine if that just looked even a little bit nicer. Am I getting greedy? Damn right I am.
Yeah, me too. I
Because
am
Dallas
too.
is not going away, even with the Seguin injury. I think
I
Dallas is
know.
hanging out.
And again, Minnesota's pushing, man. That
They are.
goaltender Wallstedt is that
He's
kid's
legit.
impressive too.
He's
There's
legit.
a lot of talent in the Central
Yep.
right now. In the
There is.
top end of the Central.
Yeah, it's going to be good for a long time. So, all right, let's get our last break in. And on the other side of it, the Olympic ice issues continue. We're going to hear from Drip Drop. And when you're hydrated, everything just works better. Your focus, your energy, your mood, even your skin. That's why you got to use Drip Drop. It's doctor-developed hydration that keeps you running at full power no matter what your day looks like. Drip Drop isn't your average sports drink. It delivers 3 times the electrolytes and half the sugar of leading brands using a science-backed formula trusted by medical professionals, firefighters, and over 90% of top colleges and pro teams. Right now, Drip Drop is offering podcast listeners 20% off of your first order. Just go to dripdrop.com and use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL. That is dripdrop.com. That promo code again is LOCKEDONNHL for 20% off. Stock up now before hitting the ice and keep your body and mind performing at their best with Drip Drop. All right, Olympics, a couple months away, and we got some more updates on the ice in the arena that is still being built over in Italy. And there was an update from one I got from Matt Larkin, who is a managing editor at the Daily Faceoff. So he asked the Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly about a percentage of the percentage of the chance of the NHL players don't go to the Olympics. And Daly's response is it depends on the percentage that you want to place on the possibility the rink doesn't get completed. And this is a quote: if there's no rink completed, there's no NHL players going to the Olympics. Wow. This is something, and this is not like it's a big deal that the NHL players are going back to the Olympics because we've been without them for 10 years. So the players wanted this, the fans wanted this. I think most fans wanted it. And now you finally got it, and the host country and host city doesn't have their you-know-what together. And it's not only that, you know, the building isn't completed yet, and I heard that the roof isn't even on yet.
Really?
Yeah. I was trying to get confirmation on that, but I've heard the roof is not even completed on it yet. Not only that, the rink itself, which when you're playing Olympic hockey, it's Olympic-sized ice, which is a little bit bigger than your NHL ice. This ice that they've made, somehow they've made it smaller than NHL sized ice by 3 feet.
Yeah.
And that is another issue that the league is having, the NHL is having. So it's not only is the arena going to get done, it's if, you know, the ice is smaller and they feel like, you know, our players are bigger, stronger, faster. I know it's 3 feet. Is that much of an issue for us to pull all of our guys? Man, like I always feel like the Olympics just like pull this stuff together, and they always come out looking like you know, there was never an issue to begin with. But this one is a little bit concerning, and it is on the table that there might not be NHL players going to the Olympics. I still think it happens. I really hope it does. Maybe that's me just hoping that it does. But man, it didn't sound good today.
That's that optimism there.
It is.
It's starting to seep in, and I'm glad that it is. So I read that too, and I saw on ESPN, and Pete DeBoer says it's 3 or 4 feet shorter. I can't find anything to confirm, or sorry, narrower, not shorter, narrower. But I also read something that said it was even approved to be like 196 feet long instead of 200 feet long. Which, again, like you're saying, Is 3 feet really that big of a deal? That's 1.5 feet less as you're going down the, like, north to south on the ice.
Mm-hmm.
But when you are just conditioned to that's the amount of space that you have as you're going
Oh,
up
you're not
towards the
kidding.
goal,
Yep.
it absolutely can be a huge issue especially at that speed, that level. And I mean, my goodness, I cannot even imagine the backlash to the Olympics if an NHL player gets hurt on a hit in the boards, or like just trying to make a stop, hits the boards and gets injured. Anything like that is going to give so much backlash. It can't happen. And so,
Yeah.
again, I'd like to
Like,
confirm it, but woof.
hockey rinks are not, baseball fields.
Mhm.
Like, baseball fields have different dimensions everywhere you go, and that's part of what you got to prepare for when you're a visiting team. That's not the case with hockey. It's not the case with basketball. It's not the case with football. Like,
Right.
those are the only thing you have to worry about in football. Is like, remember that one kid in college? There's like right after the end zone, there's like a brick wall for some
Oh,
reason.
yeah.
Why are you built like stuff like that is the only thing that you have to like take into account. But when you're on the playing field, all of that is even across the board.
Yep.
With I get the whole like turf and all that other stuff. I'm just talking about
Right.
dimensions here. But for hockey, it's 200 feet, and here's the lines, and it's ice. So yeah, and when it's 3 feet, and if it's 1.5 feet on each side, that muscle memory and just of how far you have to go, that comes into play. And when these guys have been doing this for 20 years,
Yeah.
that's just ingrained in their minds. So I don't know, man. Like I just the optics of it
Well,
just
and
don't look good, and we'll see where this goes, but I don't know.
the last time the NHL was in the Olympics, I remember it was one of the no, the time before, not the last time, but the time before. It was like the
Mm-hmm.
first time that I'd really watched Olympic hockey.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember being like, "Oh my gosh, it feels like there's so much room for these guys to move around." And that's because it's about 15 feet wider, still 200 feet long, but about 15 feet
A lot wider.
wider ice. And my goodness, that makes a ton of difference in the amount of space that these guys have to move around. We talk all the time about how it doesn't feel like you can get through center ice right now because it's just mucked up and everybody can block
Right.
it so well. If you take that and shrink it down past the 85 feet, like even if it's just shrunk that way,
Yeah.
it's going to take a lot of the fun out of the game too. Like that's not going to be, I don't know. This seems like top to bottom, this doesn't
Well,
sound good. I agree. The Olympics usually figure it out, but right
yeah,
now it does not sound good.
I know. It's the interesting thing is like I think it would be fun. It's a condensed rink. Olympic ice usually favors the speed teams because it is a bigger ice,
Yeah.
and they have more surface area to skate around. Smaller ice kind of favors the bruising teams
Yeah.
because of that reason. I'm not saying it wouldn't be fun, because I think it
That's
would be. I think it'd be a lot of fun. It would just be dangerous, or it has the potential to be dangerous.
It does. And it would be fun for guys who really enjoy that aspect of hockey. For a casual fan, you're not growing the game. That's absolutely not. Seeing
Mm,
some of the hits and stuff, sure, but it's
yeah,
not going to be, they're not going to be huge, heavy hits, I don't think. Um, like maybe they would be, but I don't think so. So you're not going to get that aspect of it. And you're not going to see crazy coast to coast breakaways or stretch passes that open a guy up if it's condensed down and it's more
it'd
mucked
be
up in the
difficult.
middle. And
It'd be
so
difficult.
that's what I mean by I'm not saying I'd watch every second of it still, don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
I think it doesn't have that same wow factor. It doesn't have that same fun factor. It does not help you grow the game at all, in my opinion.
I don't know. I like. Is this an issue? Yeah, it is. Is it something that's going to be an issue on like every trip up the ice? No, I don't think so. But I think you're going to hear a lot of something of the effect of like when a play happens, it'll be like, oh, that's because of this
Yeah.
ice is, you know what I mean? will it be enough for it to kind of take the appeal out of a hockey game? I don't think so. I'm not going that far, but
I think it will.
I don't
for
know.
a casual fan.
To your casual fan, will they even notice? Will a casual fan even notice? And if you have if you have a smaller ice and there is maybe a little bit more back and forth, and again, we're talking about 3 feet here. So is it really going to impact that much? It'll impact some. I don't feel like it's going to impact, like I said, on every offensive possession. We're going to be hearing about like, oh my God, the smaller ice is causing this, causing that.
No, but 15 feet extra width opens that up and gives you a lot more of those wow plays, which through the Olympics draws those people in.
True.
If you take out, you're going to take out a ton of those plays. And that's what I mean by the casual fan. No, they're probably not going to notice, but they're not going to get sucked into the sport because you're not going to have those wow plays. That's more my point.
You're not going to have those wow plays of what we're talking about, like with speed guys having a lot of open ice. You're going to have different wow plays. You might if they want to have a physical game in the Olympics, like that's where it's going to come. And it's like car crashes in NASCAR, like, but people might tune in for the fights.
You ask most of those guys, what would you rather win, a Stanley Cup or a gold medal? And then I don't think they're going to be going into it as much. And I could be wrong because I didn't think they'd go into it during the Four Nations as much as they did. And guys got after it, which was awesome. It was fantastic. I loved every second. I don't know that happens again in the Olympics. We'll see. So like this throws everything up in the air and it totally changes my expectation, even if the NHL continues to play in it. It's a weird situation.
We'll see. I mean, the Olympics are 2.5 months away.
I know, it's so close.
We got to figure it out. So we'll be watching it because I just think this is fascinating stuff. And once again, I talked about this the first time we talked about this. Again, and I'm not a doctor. We've established that. I'm not an engineer. But I don't know how you don't have buildings built when you've had, 6 years, 8 years? Like when do they award you the Olympics? It is a long time.
2026.
How do you not have this stuff done?
I feel like Denver was bidding for this one.
Were they?
And if not this one, then another one. But yeah, it's like 8 or more years. It's probably even longer than that.
Even if it's 4. Even if you're awarded it at the current Winter Olympics and at the end of those Olympics, they say who the next place is, which they don't do, by the way. That's not what I'm just saying. If they did, I still feel like that's enough time.
Yeah. To engineer 3 feet of ice? Come on.
Good Lord. All right. We'll see where this goes, but it's just fascinating stuff. So, all right. We're going to wrap this up. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about the Avs and Islanders game, which is going on in Long Island.
Nelson's return to Long Island.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. That's going to be fun. And anything else going on anything else going on in Avalanche Nation. There we go. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But for this one, thank you for tuning in, making it your first listen of the day. That one's always appreciated. He's Mr. Zach Pearson. I am Chris Micieli. This is the Locked On Avalanche podcast, where, of course, you have made it through another 24 hours where Sidney Crosby's that much closer to being with the Colorado Avalanche.
Copyright 2025.